Welcome back, friends, enemies, lovers, the ambivalent. It's the David Sparks Show. I thank you very much for casting your eyeballs this way. And let's get into the action. Heavy, hard-hitting, right now. Okay? Check this out. I'm scrolling through the interwebs last week, as I do during certain times of the day, during every week. And I come across this video on Facebook. And anyway, it's from a guy named Dave Ramsey. And it's basically his take on Obamacare and why math explains why Obamacare is not going to be good. It's going to bring us all down. And we'll just check out this video. I've got it split up here, and I'll be commenting on some of the stuff. Essentially, Dave Ramsey doesn't know how to do math and is really completely, I guess, what can I say, not familiar with a lot of math and the math process and math formulas and math-related professions such as actuaries and the actuary exam. But we'll get to that. Check out Mr. Ramsey and,
math still matters. You still have to do math. So let me help you with this. As an example, January the 1st, every health insurance company in America, if they're going to operate, is required to take anyone, regardless of how ill they are, as a customer. And they cannot charge them more than they charge someone who's not ill. And so you're 500 pounds, you have diabetes, you've got cancer, and you've had 3 heart attacks, you're going to say that pay the exact same premium as a perfectly healthy person. That's the new law. It's one piece of the new law. Now, that's good if you don't have health insurance and enables you to get health insurance. I understand the motivation and the nobility and the moral imperative behind that. I get that. But that doesn't change the math. The math is that those people get sick more often and run up more medical bills than someone who's healthy. Duh. And if they now have to be covered by the same company that you're covered by, and they're required to take them, they no longer have the option to say, I'm going to turn you away. They're required to take them. Then the math kicks in. Because the amount of money that insurance company was paying out to the medical community is going to go way up. They're not going to pay more out to the medical community per person than they ever have before. Now, let me help you with that. What they pay out per person is how your premium is determined, plus profit. It's called an actuarial table. It's a simple law of averages. It's a statistical analysis. It's really not rocket science. You could probably do it in the 8th grade.
you'll notice that his rhetorical technique is very confident. He's talking about just everything Joe Friday. It's just math. Now, Mr. Ramsey says that we're going to have a whole boatload full of sick people who are taking more from the medical system than they were before. Unfortunately, his math has gone wrong in that these people are going to be contributing to the healthcare pool. Before, what did they pay if they couldn't afford insurance or didn't have a job with insurance? They paid nothing. Yes, but they were provided with health care. So let's see, they're contributing now and adding and making the pool much larger, the pool of payers or the insurance payers. You see, it's real simple. The Pre-Affordable Care Act, poor sick people contributed zero. Or with the ACA, you have them contribute. Greater than zero equals greater than zero. He says that an actuary equation, just something simple, an 8th grader can do. Well, it's not the same kind of equation that a massive insurance company would be pulling for hundreds of millions of people. And if you're honest about it, it's actuarial sciences, if you will, is not something an 8th grade math student would be ready for. An actual actuary has to take one of the most difficult professional certification exams around, and to be properly prepared for it, minimum undergrad math degree, most likely a postgraduate math degree or statistics degree, something math related. Where did I get this information? Oh, my brother-in-law has a PhD in statistics, works for a Big Ten university, and I asked him, hey, is it that easy to run an actuarial formula, or to be able to, for like millions, hundreds of millions of insurance customers? And he scoffed and laughed after he watched the video. He basically just said, hey, that guy's a numbnuts. He doesn't know anything. The problem with people like Dave Ramsey is that if someone in America says, I'm a Christian, everybody, and I got a product for you, people in churches are like, yeah, brother, we like to support Christian businesses. Whether or not these guys are snake oil salesmen or not, everyone's got a hustle in the church. And who knows how many people are there only for that reason. But Dave Ramsey, a mathematician you are not, a financial guru and huckster, perhaps, quite likely.
But it's a simple thing. If a life insurance company has more people dying than their life insurance premiums per person in that same group of people is going to be higher. Thus, they charge more for people that smoke than they do for people that don't smoke. They charge more for people who parachute than people who don't parachute. And so, but in this case, that's no longer allowed. Everybody's going to be charged the same. Translation, you are going to pay higher premiums to keep the insurance company open, or they're going to go broke, because they now have to cover people they didn't have to cover before, and they're known as sick people.
We are already paying for them. You see, it's just simple math. And let me help you with it. You see, when you move people from the most expensive kind of healthcare, which is emergency room healthcare, to less expensive healthcare, which is preventative healthcare visits and regular doctor visits, you decrease the cost of medical operation. It's real simple. It's just math. Doesn't matter if you're a Republican, doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, doesn't matter if you're a libertarian, doesn't matter if you're an anarchist. Just math.
Now, it's a nice moral imperative, but it doesn't change the math. So translation is, your health insurance premiums are going to go way up. They have to. It's not I'm mad about it. It's not a political statement. It's that I know how to do math.
And going back to the math, Dave Ramsey doesn't understand the concept of a medical loss ratio, the amount of money not going to the medical care provider. In single-payer systems, generally runs from 10 to 15%. Pre-Affordable Care Act days in the USA, 36%, more than double that in a single-payer system. Under the Affordable Care Act, it's capped at 20. You see, it's simple math, but you have to include all the parts of the equation. And that's what Dave Ramsey's not doing. With the Affordable Care Act, we can detect disease early and pay much less to prevent or treat it in its early stages, or just do like we did before and let it advance, and then it'll cost much, 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 much more. See, it's just simple math. I can help you with that if you need it.
Well, my insurance premiums might not go way up. My employers may go way up. Well, honey, your premiums that cover you went way up. Your employer paying them might affect your raise. Might even affect the stability of your job, because they might not be able to pay everybody because they have higher costs of operating their business now. And if that's the case, you might lose your job, or you might not get raises. Did you pay for it? Yes, you paid for it. It's called a pass-through. You're going to pay for it. Employers aren't going to pay for this. They're not going to accept less profits. They're going to cut expenses, like not hire as many people or not give as many raises. It's real simple. And so you are going to pay for it.
We are already paying for them.
Well, I don't have a job. I live off the government. Okay, you're not going to pay for it. I was wrong. You're not. The rest of us are going to pay for you. Like we do on a lot of other things in your life, if that's you.
We're going to blame the freeloaders. Like, everyone's freeloading in America. Like, this is such a land of milk and honey that you can go around, just take all the milk and honey you want because there's so much of it, and you don't have to do anything, and everyone is going to do that, and only the noble people are doing the noble things, such as purchasing their own health care. You know, all this is a veiled attempt to demonize poor people, demonize minorities, every single one of these others who are coming after the real America that Dave Ramsey and his Christian coalition says that they are. But you know what? They're not really the real America any more than anybody else in America is the real America. If you follow Dave Ramsey, and especially his investment advice, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to be one of those suckers born every minute, as P.T. Barnum put it so eloquently so many years ago. Hey, I'm Dave Sparks. Don't believe me? Look up facts and just type in Google Dave Ramsey lies. There's all kinds of them. People have gone to the time to document lots of them, and I appreciate that. Hey, visit me on Twitter. Like, Twitter me something. Visit me on Facebook. Subscribe to the Facebook page, the YouTube page. Thank you, TYT Nation, for all of your views. I really appreciate all of you out there. And you can also catch me at thedavidsparks.com if you didn't notice it being on the screen the whole freaking time you've been watching this. Take care. Love your brother. Love your sister. Love your mother. Love your daddy. And tell your neighbor hi, and eat homegrown tomatoes fresh from Grandma's garden. I'm Dave Sparks. This has been the David Sparks Show. Peace, love, and mayonnaise. Sayonara.